I am your host, Jess Williamson, an award-winning business and mindset coach and a serial entrepreneur having scaled 4 successful businesses. My purpose is to help you unleash your unique superpowers and to build the life and business of your dreams. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, welcome back. I am honestly so excited that you're here. So just a little update on my world. I ran my free projector masterclass last Thursday called Born to be Successful. Hopefully you managed to tune in or catch the replay. But if you haven't yet, there is still time to catch the replay. So the link is in the show notes. Otherwise, you can head over to the link in my bio on Instagram or on my website and you can find the masterclass there. But oh my gosh, the energy was so on fire. The incredible projector women that joined me was so much fun, and we got to just go deep into some really cool stuff about being a projector. And on today's podcast, I'm going to be sharing with you about what I've learned as a projector over the past year and a half as I've aligned some of the experiences that I went through, some of the realigning that I had to take, and sharing with you that journey because it is so interesting to see where I was a year and a half ago and where I am now, and it is just wild. But before I jumped into that, I wanted to just actually share with you some behind the scenes of this masterclass. So I put out the masterclass about a week before it was live, and overnight I had 50 people sign up. I put it up and I think I did one Instagram story mentioning it, and overnight I had 60 people, and I mentioned it briefly at the bottom of an email that I sent to my database, which when you think about it, projectors are only 20% of the population. Most of my audience, they may have heard about human design, but I've only recently started sharing more about human design. And so 60 was a huge number to get just in one night when projectors are a very small part of the population. And then that's assuming that all the projectors know that they're a projector. So I was pretty impressed. And then it sort of tapered off for a few days, which is what you would expect. And then the night before the masterclass, I posted it up in a Facebook group for projectors. And again, overnight, I had 60 more people join. And I was honestly wondering to myself, what is going on? Like, where are these people coming from? I don't understand, because I've posted things in Facebook groups before and I've shared stories and done things like that, but I've never had such an instant response, overnight. And so I ended up with 130 people registered for my projector masterclass, which I was going to be happy with probably 20 if we look at the percentage of the population that are actually projectors and then know what it is, that are also in business and that are also women, and also who want to align deeply and achieve huge levels of success. We're talking a tiny percentage of the population. But what I put it down to was that I have been aligning as a projector over the past year, and the deeper that I aligned, the more that I saw myself, the more magnetic my messaging became. And the feedback from people on the masterclass, the feedback on the comments on Facebook or the DMs that I was receiving, the feedback was like, this is speaking to my soul. Thank you for creating this. And I cannot tell you how much that just lights me up, because this is what lights me up. And so the fact that it's lighting up other people, so much so that it became so magnetic to draw them in. Wow. Like, I am just so excited and so impressed that I was able to just absolutely magnetize 130 of you incredible projectors. And if you haven't registered, there is still time to catch the replay. So check the show notes for the link. But I wanted to share a little bit of that behind the scenes, because so often we hear about huge business successes and how that works. And for a little bit there in the middle, I thought, look, 60, I'm pretty happy with 60. Like, that is pretty impressive. I am so grateful for every single person that that tunes into my live webinars or these podcasts or whatever it is, because it means I get to impact you even deeper. So I was pretty damn happy with 60. But I asked myself, how can I be seen bigger? How can I be seen on another level? And so I posted that. I also, the night before the webinar, did one last Instagram story. Now, I will tell you, I've been doing Instagram stories the whole entire week, but that night I got a ton more people from Instagram as well, because the way that I posted it, I shared a screenshot of all the people that had signed up so far, and I stepped into actually seeing myself. I said, oh my gosh, I have attracted this many people into my webinar, whether it was 5 people, whether it was 50 or 5,000 people. When you can step into, wow, I have this many people joining me. Are you joining me too? That magnetized even more people to join. So I wanted to share that with you because I wanted to actually break down how, when we are in alignment with our human design, we actually see tangible results. It is not magic, but it is magic at the same time. I like to say, projectors, we have magic. We are magical human beings, which is also why I opened up my 6-week mastermind for projectors called Projector Magic. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that with you, but I've already had some incredible souls join, and I cannot wait to go deep with you if you are listening over 6 weeks to really deeply align as a projector in business to be able to claim those huge levels of success. So if you're interested, I will pop the link in the show notes as well to join Projector Magic or to just check out all of the information about that. But it is a 6-week mastermind where we will be going deep together. This is a intimate container where we get to deeply see each other. I get to deeply see you, you get deeply to see everyone in the group, and we get to rise up together. So if you're interested, I will pop the link in the show notes, and I would love to invite you in. There are a few spots still open. So into today's episode on that little side note, but I wanted to share that with you so you can gain some of those insights behind the scenes. But today's podcast, I wanted to take you through the journey because aligning to your human design, whatever type you are, takes time, right? It takes time. And so over the past 1.5 years, I first discovered human design when I was actually a speaker at a retreat, and another speaker at the retreat was actually my friend Jenna. Well, she wasn't my friend at the time, but we got to become friends. And she was a human design expert. And when she explained projectors, my mind was blown. I'm sure when you first discovered that you were a projector, you were like, my whole life makes sense now, because that's what I was thinking in that moment. And I went deep. From that moment on, for the past 1.5 years, I have gone so deep into all the depths of the earth, the dark corners of the internet. I've been everywhere. I have soaked up all of the information. But we know that human design is an experiment. It is not just I've gained info, now I'm wiser. No, we need to truly embody the work, embody the insights that we gain and live it to our core. And that is how we can create huge levels of success and really deeply align as a projector. We get to have more flow, more ease, more success. All of that comes when we can actually embody it, not just learn it. So I started to embody it. I started to trial and error in my business. I started to take my bitterness as a sign and come back to alignment. I got to experiment over the past 1.5 years and go deep with myself. So 1.5 years when I first discovered human design, I was on this retreat. I did not know how to slow down. I did not know how to slow down one bit. And so there was actually no Wi-Fi. There was no phone service as well. And I was at this retreat. I was walking around. I was trying to go for a leisurely stroll because I thought, what else am I going to do? There's no internet. I can't do my work. Everyone else is just chilling, doing whatever they want. So I thought, I'm going to go for a nice walk. It's a beautiful bush setting, so I'm going to try and have a walk. And by try and have a walk, I literally mean try, because I walked down this path past the nice little house, and then I was like, oh, this looks like a bit of a dead end. So then I thought I'll walk around the house and just kind of have a look around and take my time and be really leisurely with it. And then my dear friend Beth, she was the caterer, the chef, the amazing woman she is. She said, Jess, are you okay? Are you actually okay, Jess? Because I'm really concerned. And in that moment, I was like, if I look like someone's just died while I'm trying to have a leisurely walk, then there is something absolutely wrong right now. There is something wrong. And I learned in that moment at that retreat that I didn't know how to slow down. I didn't know how to just be with myself. And in that moment, I started to make the shifts. And so I started to make these shifts internally anyway, but using human design, I was able to fast track this to the max. And so I started my journey with slowing down. My health was not great at that time. My health manifests through my skin, so I have quite acne. It's very genetic for me, but it definitely flares up when I'm not in alignment. At the time, I didn't know that. And I had been to so many different doctors, so many different naturopaths, experts, everyone. No one logically knew what the issue was. And now I figured out that it's manifesting through not living in my alignment to be in a projector. But at the time, my skin was terrible, everything. After 2 days at that retreat of eating really well, resting and nurturing my body, which is great for everyone to do, but particularly projectors, we have a lot of chronic illnesses or chronic things that can show up when we're not in alignment. In just 2 days, my skin cleared up. My gut health felt so much better. And I felt so much more calm. And so that was an incredible reset for me to go back into my business and start to implement that. Now, when we get back into reality, we come back with all the right intentions, but obviously we get busy again, right? So started to get busy again. And then in those moments, as I was experiencing my human design, I was feeling bitterness. I was feeling close to burnout again. I was feeling all of these feelings of the not self theme of being a projector. And so I used that as my compass. I used that as my guide to make sure that I was getting up an hour earlier to allow myself to nurture my body and do what I needed to. I was allowing for more space in my days, to not pile my to-do list so high. I started booking in time where I started to implement Feel Good Fridays. And every Friday I get to just do what feels good. I have no meetings, I have no work, I have nothing that I specifically need to do other than whatever feels good for me. And you might have heard me talk about that, and I talk deeply about my schedule on a past episode called How I Plan My Weeks or How I Plan My Schedule, something like that. We'll put the link in the show notes for you if you want to hear more about that. But I started to really start to embody being a projector in my lifestyle. But there was still a piece missing. Success doesn't come overnight just because we stop working as much or we don't work as hard. And so I started to explore the part of us as projectors that need to be seen. So we have so much deep wisdom and knowledge, and we need to be seen and recognized for that. So as I was working through that, I was kind of in the mindset of, yeah, I've got that. Like, I know I've done some pretty cool things. I know I've achieved some great success. I've done X, Y, Z in my business. I see myself. No worries. I've got that covered. But I was still hiding. I was still not showing up in my purest, most true self. I was still worried about what is the right thing to say in my captions. I can't say this that way because what if it upsets someone? I fell into the trap of the nice girl syndrome. And a lot of us projectors have this because we get taught that to receive recognition, we need to be liked. And that couldn't be further from the truth, because now we're getting recognition or we're being liked for something that we're not fully. Right? We're not getting recognition for our truest, deepest self. We're getting recognition and likes for the surface level self. But as projectors, we are not here for surface level. We are here to go deep. And so we can see other people so deeply. We can see into their souls. We can see how they can do things more efficiently. We can see how they can achieve success, overcome their challenges. we can see that. But the hardest thing that we have is to see ourselves. So that was kind of the hard part for me to start to work through. And so every little bit, I started to pull back the layers. Every little bit, I sort of started to step into my power with that. But it wasn't until probably the last 6 months that I said to myself, I am not hiding anymore. I am here to show up. I am here to be my most vulnerable self and strip back all of the layers. I deeply see myself, and I am continually getting deeper with that, because as we go into alignment, we can keep going deeper. But I started to really see myself. I started to really appreciate myself for the magic and wisdom that I have. My self-worth increased. My self-confidence increased. And that is when you can become truly magnetic. And so my journey with that, I came up against like a lot of roadblocks along my journey. So the biggest challenge for us as projectors is that challenge of being seen and recognized. And when we're not seen and recognized, we feel bitter. So I remember quite often I would be in the DMs with people, and how we've been taught to do business is like, great, get people in the DMs, sell to them, or, have conversations and sell people, or, show them how great you are. And so because I wasn't fully seeing how magnetic or magical I could be myself, people would say, Jess, this is my business goals and these are my challenges that I have right now. And as a projector, I could see exactly what they need to do. We see things so clearly, which is such a cool superpower, but not everyone is ready to hear it. And so I could see in an instant what they needed to do, how I could help them. And we deeply want to help people. So I would give them the advice. I just gave them the advice straight off the cuff, right? They were like, here's my challenge, here's my goals. And I'm like, great, here's the solution on a silver platter. Here you go. And then I would be met with some resistance, or they're like, cool, thanks. Or they're like, thanks, but no thanks. There was this energy back. And I was like, what the hell? I just gave you the solution to all of your problems. I can see how we can get you that huge, incredible success. So why can't you see me? Why can't you see that I can solve this for you? And then we fall into bitterness. And then we do it again with hopes that it's going to have a different outcome, but it never does. So I was met with this many times throughout the past year and a half, and I learned to realize what I was doing. And the hardest part for me to get over was when it came to friends. And so friends would be having challenges, they would share it on the Instagram story, or they would be, talking about it. And I would be like, I can help you. I can help you. I have the answers. And sometimes I would offer help and they would be like, great, thanks so much, Jess. You're amazing. Thank you. And then they would go and sign up with the coach next to me, or like someone else that they met through me. And I'm like, I just gave you the answer. Why don't you see me? Why don't you see me as that expert, as that authority? And then you still go and work with someone next to me, or, not see me. Or on the other side, they would be sharing a challenge online. And I'm like, they know that that is my expertise. They know that that is me. And then I'm like, why don't they ask me? Why don't they invite me in? Because I have the knowledge. And then I would be sitting feeling bitter because I'm like, why won't they give me the invitation so I can share my knowledge and wisdom with them and move on? And so I worked through this because the bitterness helped me come back to my truest self. And as I continued to work through this, it was because I still didn't truly see myself. And it's only when we truly see ourselves deeply as that expert, as that absolute authority and guide in this world, then the friends or the people or the audience, whoever it is, your dream clients, only then they are going to truly see you in that way. Only then are they going to be magnetized towards you. And once you can learn to unlock that, you become absolutely magnetic. The right people are going to be coming to you, giving you all of the invitations, and then you get to decide, are these invitations in alignment with what I'm doing, with where I'm going? But these are all the things that sort of showed up for me as I was working through this over the past year. So I want you to think about, when was the last time you truly saw yourself for the power and magic you have within you? Like actually truly appreciated yourself. Not just, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, I'm pretty successful. I know you're successful because you're a projector, so of course you are. But like tears rolling down the face, like absolute admiration for yourself. I'm almost tearing up right now just even saying that and even just thinking about that. Like when was the last time you really felt that? Because that is when you become magnetic. You're not here to stay small. You're not here to make others feel more comfortable by keeping yourself down. You're here to play big. And I remember saying this to my coach at the time. Like it was about 6 months ago where I really leant into this and stepped into this. And I said to her, I feel like I'm like a bomb. And this is like really not the best, example or metaphor, but stay with me here. I feel like a bomb that's just like shaking and all this energy is inside and it's like, oh, get me out. And then like, I feel like I'm just ready to explode, and like you are here, you have that power in you, and now we're going to explode with like magic dust. We're not going to explode with detonations, but we're here to explode that magic dust into the world. So I felt like this explosion was just building and building and building and building inside of me, and I just had to let it out. Because when you let it out, you can stand true in your true confidence. Stand in absolute conviction that you have the magic, you have the superpowers, you have the absolute wisdom to guide this world. And when you do that, that is when success can come to you. So I went through that and I made some big shifts internally, and I almost went into a bit of a cocoon phase where I kind of went internal into myself, into my body, into my mind, into my authority as a splenic projector. And I had to gain clarity in myself first. So I even booked out a whole day where I just sat with my thoughts and journaled. I created the space for my body to lead me the way that I needed to. And so once I gained that clarity, I then was able to share it with the world. I then was able to share it outwardly. And the first post that I did about it, I literally just claimed it. I said, I am not hiding any more. Just you wait. I've got this. I am here. And I am going to be sharing some pretty epic stuff. So just you wait and see. That was the first post that I did because that felt good to me that I was stepping out and claiming it. So what happened next was I, in January, worked half, if not less than half, the amount of time that I usually would work, which I'd already created a pretty flowy, spacious schedule. But I was on holidays for 2 weeks in January. Then I was probably only working 2 to 3 days a week and only in the mornings. So I was working less than ever, yet I brought in more money in my business than ever before. It was a 55K cash month, and that was more than I had ever brought in my business ever. I got to work less. I got to earn more, and I got to make more of a deeper impact than ever because we get to see people so deeply that we can make such a deep impact. So that happened in January, and I was like, okay, I actually don't know where the money came from. Like when I look at the numbers, I know, obviously I can see where the money came from. It didn't just magically appear, but I was like, I didn't push. I literally let go of the steering wheel. I literally lent into my projector, lent into aligning deeper, and I let go of the steering wheel. And I let my intuition, my spleen, my projector guidance guide me in that month. And I said to a friend, I was like, I actually don't know where the money has come from, but it is dropped in. And I thought, okay, that was nice in January. And then guess what happened in February? I backed it up with a second month in a row, biggest month ever. And February was a shorter month. We have like 3 less days in the month, more income than ever came in. And again, I said to my friend, and I was like, you won't believe this, but again, I've worked less because I was starting to move house at that time. We were painting. I was enjoying my time, packing up the house, all of that fun stuff. I find that fun. Maybe you don't, but I love organizing stuff. And I was doing that in February. And I was like, again, I don't know where this has come from. I don't know how this has happened, but it's happened. And then guess what happened the next month? It happened again. And I just continue leaning deeper and deeper into this trust and knowing that as I align as a projector, I am unlocking some crazy magic. You were literally born with the magic inside of you. We've just been taught to close it off. But as projectors, we have been born to be successful. It is your birthright. So it's pretty much your obligation now to allow that out. Align deeper. Really step into being seen and start to play big. Because when you do, illogical success happens. And it gets to be illogical for us projectors because we are here to create huge levels of success, work less, push less, have more flow and ease, have more rest, look after ourselves, and it gets to feel damn good. So it doesn't necessarily have to make logical sense to anyone else but you. So that is kind of a bit of the journey. Obviously, there were so many other parts to the past year, and I will share them probably in future episodes around my experiences with feeling bitter and coming back to alignment and how I've really dove deeper into seeing myself. But I wanted to share that because in just 1 year, figuring this out myself, I have had a life-changing experience. I now no longer feel stressed. There's obviously elements of life that will still be stressful, but I no longer feel stressed on the daily. I no longer feel like my fuse is about to blow every minute of the day because I'm so burnt out, and it gets to feel fun and good. So if you are really ready to claim those next levels of success, to really say, I am claiming this. This is my obligation to step into this, to become a deeply aligned projector and create huge levels of success for myself and show others what's possible too. Then I would love to invite you into Projector Magic, where we get to go deep. We get to go seriously deep. So if you're ready to lean even deeper into alignment, you're going to want to be inside of Projector Magic. Because we are here to go deep, I have created a super intimate container. Over 6 weeks, we are going to collapse time. We are going to fast track your success, fast track your alignment, and we are going to work through this through the lens of business. But as you align deeper, your health improves, relationships, everything gets impacted by this. So I've created this intimate container over 6 weeks. We will have a different topic each week where we get to lean into alignment and build more success. I've also built out a Voxer voice memo access group where we get to dive into deeper embodiment. And this is where we actually start to live it out and start to see the true results coming through. So if you are either a burnt out projector feeling out of alignment, or you're ready to really just elevate yourself and claim those huge levels of success that are already available to you, then Projector Magic is for you, and I would love to welcome you in. Right now, the price is as low as the price will ever be. It is $888, and there is so much inside. A mastermind of this depth would normally looking at 10 grand plus. It is only $888, and I wanted to do that as my gift to you for this first round to come and let's go deep together, because I know how life-changing this has been for me. I can't even put it into words, life-changing. But not to mention the wealth and abundance that has come my way as a result more than covers the cost of this. And I'm just so excited to connect deeper with more of you magical projectors. So if you want to join a group of magical projectors and step into that power, then hit the show notes and you can join up. If you do have any questions or if you're wondering, is this right for me? Then please come over and send me a DM at jess.williamson8 and I will always make sure that this is the right fit for you. I'm not here to just fill numbers. I want to make sure that we have the most expansive group of women in there as possible. So come and send me a DM on Instagram. But if you got something out of this episode, I would also love for you to share it with a projector friend or just share it on your Instagram stories. That would honestly mean the world. You know, as projectors, we need that recognition, right? So otherwise, it's just me talking to my microphone right now, and I wouldn't know what you thought of this. So I would love to know. Please share it on your stories and tag me at jess.williamson8, and then I will love to give you a shout out right back. Until next time, stay absolutely magical, and I will see you on the next episode.